Shedeur Sanders sparks suspicion after being caught alone on the field in the dark. What's he hiding? There's something haunting about being alone on a football field at night. The silence, the shadows, the self-reflection. And if you look closely enough, you'll spot him. That figure running drills, moving with purpose under the stadium lights that never fully illuminate the turf. It's Shedeur Sanders. But why is he out there, alone, while everyone else is at home? The answer might not be obvious. Maybe he's hiding something, worry, a hunger, or maybe even a truth about where he stands on the Cleveland Browns depth chart. With the team's official training camp just a week away, the pressure is building. And the timing of this video, which captures Sanders working solo in the dark, couldn't be more telling. Behind that quiet determination is a battle brewing inside the Browns quarterback room. In the summer, is a battle brewing inside the Browns quarterback room. Veteran Joe Flacco still holds the top spot. Kenny Pickett is close behind. Then come the rookies, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. The pecking order is far from settled. And maybe that's what's keeping Sanders up at night, literally. Sanders knows he's not the frontrunner right now. He wasn't the first rookie picked, and some analysts have already written him off as a project, not a contender. But that's exactly why he's out there, grinding when no one's watching. It's not just about preparing, it's about proving he belongs, that he's not just a name or a media favorite, that he's got what it takes to be QB1. And let's not forget, Shedeur has the spotlight whether he wants it or not. Fans love him. Kids light up when he walks into a room. Media outlets track his every move. He's arguably the most talked about rookie in the league, and that comes with his own weight. Maybe that field at night is the only place he finds peace, or maybe it's where he pushes past the noise. As training camp officially kicks off next week, the QB competition in Cleveland is about to heat up. Day by day, rep by rep, someone will rise to the top. Until then, Shedeur keeps showing up in the dark, chasing something that only he fully understands. A spot, a dream, or maybe a silence he can only break with his performance. It was nearly midnight and the floodlights had been turned off hours ago. Most of the campus had settled into the hush of late sleep. Yet out on the turf of Folsom Field, a figure stood perfectly still at the 50-yard line, bathed in silver moonlight. That figure was Shedeur Sanders. To anyone passing by, it might have looked like a solitary athlete chasing a late-night moment of meditation, or perhaps reliving a highlight reel in his mind. But to those who knew Shedeur really knew him, this was odd. He was a star quarterback, sure, and used to being under lights, cameras, pressure. But this moment wasn't about training or reflection. Something was off. A curious glimpse. The janitor, Mr. Darnell, had seen Shedeur slip through the west gate. Around 11:30 the Sanders name carried weight on campus. But Darnell noticed the quarterback wasn't carrying a ball, wasn't dressed to run drills, just dark jeans, a hoodie, and something tucked beneath his arm, a small, locked metal box. Darnell wasn't the nosy type, but he made a mental note. Something about the way Shedeur glanced over his shoulder made the old man linger in the shadows of the bleachers, curiosity outweighing caution. The mystery box Shedeur stood for several minutes, not moving. Then, he knelt and began digging into the turf with his bare hands. He worked methodically, like someone who had done this before. A few inches down, he placed the metal box into the shallow hole, covered it again, and smoothed the grass with surprising care. And then, just as silently, he stood and walked back into the shadows, disappearing into the night. The next morning, rumors started. Coach caught him sneaking into the locker room after hours. He's hiding drugs under the field. No way. It's probably some elaborate superstition. Maybe he's burying his playbook for luck. The theories grew wilder by the hour. Social media exploded after someone claimed they had drone footage of Sanders on the field, though no such footage ever surfaced. Still, the narrative had been seeded, and suspicion bloomed. Coach Prime doesn't blink. When asked during a press conference, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders himself, smirked and leaned forward. Shedeur's a grown man. You all spend more time worrying about what he's doing than appreciating what he does. But even his cryptic endorsement raised eyebrows. Was he deflecting, protecting, or worse, was he in on it? The teammates' talk looked like room with him for 2 seasons, said cornerback Travis Hunter. Shedeur's different. Not in a bad way, just private. When asked if he'd ever seen the metal box, Travis hesitated. I mean, he's got stuff he doesn't talk about. A lot of us do. But that box? Nah, never seen it. Others were less subtle. I heard he buried something from his dad, said a freshman linebacker. Like something important, maybe spiritual, maybe personal. By the end of the week, the field itself became sacred ground. Students tried sneaking onto it at night, hoping to find the hidden spot. Security tripled. A few fans even suggested they turned it into a scavenger hunt, like a campus-wide mystery event. But no one could find the box, Shedeur speaks. Sort of a week later, Shedeur finally addressed the rumors on his Instagram Live. I know y'all are curious. I see the DMs. I see the TikToks. All I'm going to say is, something's afoot the field, and something's stay in the field. He ended the video with a wink and a cryptic hashtag. Legacy, lock. Whispers of legacy. Those two words? Legacy. Locked out reignited the frenzy. Speculation turned to the late-night conversation Shedeur was known to have had with his father. About greatness. About pressure. About what it meant to carry the Sanders name into a new era, not just on the field, but in the annals of football history. One theory gained traction. The box contained handwritten letters from Deion Sanders to his son, written during Shedeur's freshman year. Shedeur said, private ritual, a literal grounding of expectations, dreams, or perhaps fears. Another theory said it contained a torn piece of a jersey from the 1994 Super Bowl, something his father gave him for when the pressure gets too loud. A few even believed it held a memory card, a video diary, meant to be unearthed after Shedeur's final college game, win or lose. A time capsule of a journey, not for public eyes, but for the man who lived it. The truth? To this day, no one knows exactly what's under the 50-yard line. Some say it's a performance art stunt. Shedeur's way of controlling the narrative in an era where athletes are constantly exposed. Others believe it's something sacred, a secret best left buried, a small anchor in a world that constantly tries to lift you off your feet. But one thing's certain, Shedeur Sanders knew the power of a question, the power of mystery. And in a time when athletes tweet every meal and live stream every workout, maybe the biggest play he ever made was choosing silence.